Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First off, we begin with meteorologist Kevin Scriba with a quick check of your weather forecast.
Storm system yesterday, and now the upper level system coming through, and that basically means just unsettled conditions for the afternoon. A lot more clouds than anything else, but there have been some passing mixed showers in southern areas, a few light snow showers in central parts of the state, and occasional light snow continuing to refire up north as that upper level system continues to move through. And that area of clouds, along with the occasional light snow, is going to continue in the north country through the evening commute, and later tonight can total up to a few inches of accumulation, while in central and southern areas, that changeable sky this afternoon with occasional light snow and flurry activity and a couple of mixed showers, eventually giving way to partial clearing overnight. We'll call it partly sunny for the day on Thursday. The breeze that builds through the afternoon and remains tonight will be around during the daylight hours Thursday, with highs in the 30s to lower range of the 40s. You'll notice later Thursday night, early Friday, last of the snow shower activity, but the clouds hang tough into Friday morning. Good deal of sunshine elsewhere, and with a lighter wind, it'll feel pretty good with temperatures in the 30s to lower range of the 40s. From there, next system starts to approach after an increase in clouds on Saturday, and because it arrives late Saturday night, could be an initial wintry mix, but it looks like it goes over to rain showers. A little bump in temperature for Sunday afternoon and Monday.
Okay, and there you go on your weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Skarupa. And now let's take a look at your evening traffic and see how your evening traffic is looking like this evening on the roadways. And here's a look at your evening traffic this evening on the roadways. We're seeing a lot of green roadways and a lot of yellow and red roadways as well, and some stopped traffic as well in the Merrimack area. A few black stopped traffic there in Durham and into Portsmouth area. Stopped traffic with red and yellow as well all over here, and red and yellow all around the Concord area and Manchester area, all the way into Merrimack and Nashua and Milford, and then making its way into Massachusetts as well. And that's a check of your evening traffic. We will keep an eye on your evening traffic, and if we have any major issues on those roadways, we will be sure to bring it to you right here on the Riley King Network Facebook page. And now let's take a look at your evening news. First up, Liberty citing ineffective counsel, ask New Hampshire Supreme Court for new trial. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
Well, Mike, lawyers for Owen Labrie say that his trial lawyers failed to execute a trial strategy that ended up with the former prep school student being convicted of a felony-level charge. This is Labrie's second appeal before the state's highest court. His first conviction was upheld, and he was not granted a new trial. Labrie was convicted of sexual assault charges involving an underclassman at St. Paul's School in Concord during something called a senior salute, a type of sexual conquest dating game at the school. Labrie was acquitted of felony-level sexual assaults, but convicted of misdemeanor-level charges. He was also convicted of a felony-level computer crime that says he used the internet to set up the sexual encounter.
They recognized that the mental state element was a place where they wanted to stake their defense. The problem was they totally failed to execute that theory.
It's up to defense counsel to choose the strategy that they think is best going to represent and convey their case to the jury. And in this case, it was really focused on the victim's credibility versus the defendant's credibility. And in choosing that strategy, they didn't provide ineffective assistance of counsel.
Labrie had no comment as he left court today. A court opinion is likely to take weeks or months. Reporting live in Concord, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. "18-year-old accused of making threat against Manchester High School." An 18-year-old has been arrested in connection with a bomb threat made against a Manchester high school, police said. Benjamin Dumont, 18, of Manchester, faces a criminal threatening charge. Police said Dumont made a bomb threat on social media against West High School at about 5 p.m. Tuesday. Several bomb detection dogs from police departments in Manchester, Nashua, and Salem cleared the school to ensure the safety of students and staff, police said. Dumont is scheduled to appear in court December 13th. Crews continue to restore power to Granite Staters. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer. Okay, we're experiencing a little technical difficulties. Give us 1 minute with the video. Please wait. Let's try again.
Mike, at one point, 95% of Grantham was in the dark. Overnight, significant progress has been made. That number's down to about 16% of the town that is still offline. Now, throughout the morning, crews could be found in the Lake Sunapee region working to restore power, in some cases, one breaker at a time. Now, crews were working round the clock as Eversource brought in workers from out of state. Eversource says they have some 450 line and tree crews working on the problems. In Grantham, the power outages were complicated as there was a trouble at 5 different points along a main transmission line. Now, for residents, it was simply a matter of coping as best they could while they waited for the lights to come back on.
We had some beans and hot dogs I cooked on the wood stove, and we survived. Of course, we have a well pump, so we had no water for a while.
We've had to go section by section after addressing the problems on that transmission line to restore power to the customers in the Grantham area, and it's a heavily forested area.
As you may be able to tell now, there is a light snow that is falling here in Grantham. Eversource says the snow that fell overnight continued to add to the problems, particularly in the Lancaster area, but their goal is to get everyone back online by later tonight. Reporting live in Grantham, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Five former governors back Gardner in contested race for Secretary of State. Five former New Hampshire governors, 4 Republicans and a Democrat, have backed Secretary of State William Gardner in his bid for a 22nd term as the state's top elections official. Gardner, a registered Democrat, faces a well-organized challenger from the 2016 Democrat governor nominee and former executive counselor Colin Van Ostern. in an election that will be held among the state's 424 legislators at the State House on Organization Day, December 5th. And the 5 governors are Lynch, Merrill, Benson, Gregg, and John H. Sununu. Join in letter of support for incumbent Secretary of State William Gardner. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Wednesday evening. And here's a look at your U.S. stock market this evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed flat. Oil closed flat. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow surges 600 points, biggest rally in 8 months after Powell signals rates are near natural. Stocks ripped higher on Wednesday after Federal Reserve's Chairman Jerome Powell said interest rates are closely to natural, a change in tone from remarks the central bank chief made nearly 2 months ago. Mueller asked Trump about 2016 RNC platform change regarding Ukraine. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Donate a coat at Burlington and you'll make a difference.
I really appreciate this.
I love this coat.
Thank you. You do this, someone gets this.
Thank you.
You get 10% off your entire purchase and someone gets a coat. Join Burlington's commitment to giving back. You'll feel warm inside.
Thank you very much.
And so will they.
From the bottom of my heart.
She looks beautiful.
And we are going to turn next to the special counsel investigation of Russian election meddling and the collapsed plea deal involving President Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort. It turns out now we've learned that the Manafort legal team has been briefing the White House about what Manafort's been asked by special counsel Robert Mueller, at least until his plea deal fell apart. ABC's Catherine Falders joins us now from Washington. Catherine, what's behind these legal maneuvers?
Yeah, so this, Aaron, it's an unusual arrangement between the president's lawyers and Paul Manafort's lawyers, but it's not illegal, really. So what they're doing here and what Rudy says, he says about Manafort's attorneys, quote, they share with me the things that pertain to our part of the case. So Giuliani is saying that Manafort's lead attorney, Kevin Downing, through Manafort's briefings and meetings with the special counsel after he pled guilty, which we know that he's met with them nearly a dozen times, that Downing, Manafort's attorney, is sharing that information with Giuliani, which, of course, will help frame their legal strategy in some way, their approach to the special counsel's investigation.
Okay, and there you go on some of that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night, everyone. Bye.